Hi everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around the world. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to be your host tonight. Welcome, Janita, Johnny. Welcome, welcome, Mafis. Welcome, all of you. I'm so happy to have you on the Zoom. I'll be your host tonight. I'll introduce myself. My name is Faduma, and I started this business just 4 months ago, and it has been such an exciting journey. One of my favorite moments was traveling from Ottawa to Toronto for the Opulence grand opening. Welcome, 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 guys. Welcome, good morning, good evening to you listening from Toronto. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Mavis. Greeting to Opulence Global Nation from Toronto, Hello, Samia from Mississauga. Thank you for joining us. I'm so excited to have you here tonight and be your host. I'm so excited. Thank you. More people are joining us. Welcome. I'm so glad to have you here, all of you.
And yes, Faduma, so excited to have you here on this call. Your first day of hosting, and yet you are hosting a very special and important call together, of course, with our founder and CEO who is already on the call. Good evening to you, CEO Ramin. And I know that this is going to be an epic call together with all of our partners. We just had, of course, our amazing weekend full of fun and activities and all these things that we can, you know, enjoy together with, of course, all of our partners who have joined us from different parts of the world. So anyway, we can get started. And yes, Faduma, you can start, of course, with the introduction.
Thank you for allowing me to introduce. I'll start for our CEO Ramin Mesgarlou. He built four multi-million dollars direct sales as a distributor from 1990 to 2003. He founded Direct Sales Most Advanced Direct Sales University in Forensic Networker in 1999. Our CEO founded Direct Sales Premier and most prestigious direct sales company in 2005. He founded world's top direct sales compensation plan, Expert 2010. He featured in Networking Times as a Master Networker 2011. Our CEO featured on the cover of American Business Journal with Warren Buffett 2013. Our CEO founded world's #2 all-time direct sales business for home or 2014. He nominated for Honest and Young Entrepreneur of the Year 2015. Voided in direct sales first introducee Hall of Fame with Paul Zane and Pilzer like 2016. His company ranked top momentum company in direct sales in the pandemic business for home 2020. Our CEO voted top networker again by Business for Home 2020. Was he born with a special talent? No. We all started at the same place, but some of us decide not to stay there. Keep evolving. Please welcome me, the only one, our CEO. Welcome to the call.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. I want to congratulate our new fearless hostess and for doing what you're doing. That's the first. Our industry is a leadership business. Anyone can sell products, especially with our products. But if you want to be able to build I would say reach out and touch the comp plan, then you need leadership. You need to inspire people. You need to do things that most people are not willing to do. And it starts with exactly what you're doing. I want to congratulate you for that. And I love seeing new people stepping up and getting things done. I hope every single one of you are already on the list on your QT program. All right, so I started writing Forensic Networker. It's the most advanced network marketing university in the world. It's been like that since 1998. Wrote the book a long time ago. And chapter 4, it's it's an advanced book to begin with. The first one is introductory, and then it moves on to leadership. And chapter 4, I just started writing it. So I just want to, after 2 decades of doing the first 3 chapters, it's time that I start writing chapter 4. The businesses evolve, people evolve. Because that's the case, I wanted to update the course as well. The reality is, after 35 years, folks, why is it that in all industries, whether it's Forex, whether it's real estate, insurance, anything has to do with sales, why is it that we got, that 20-80, right? 20%, do 80% of the work, or 80% do 20% of the work, right? Obviously, we know that 20% of them will make money. And then within the 20%, you got the 5% making, much of the money, and then 95%, they don't make a lot of money. And then you've got the 1% millionaires, right? It's the same. Our industry is no different. And I've always looked at all these industries like, what's the difference between people? When I was competing in wrestling, people say you never got nervous on the mat. It's not I never got nervous on the mat. The thing was, I looked at the mat, I looked at my opponent, I saw a person. I didn't see a machine. I saw a person. It was a person that had 2 legs, 2 arms, and 1 head, just like I do. I could be as tough as anyone, maybe even tougher. So I went in there with a mindset that I'm going to keep doing my thing until that structure is no longer standing. See, I didn't see a person that could intimidate. I saw a structure. And same thing, I look at business the same way. Why is it somebody with 2 legs, 2 arms, and 1 head goes and makes 10 times than the average person? Some make 5 times the average person. Some make 2 times the average person. Some makes 100 times the average person. Some make 1,000 times. Why? They all got 2 legs, 2 arms, and 1 head, right? So, and we all got the same brain. What we differ is skills, right? Skills, knowledge. But anyone can get that. Anyone can get that. And then once you decide not to be lazy, right, and decide to actually take the knowledge and execute the knowledge, you will be the 2x person. That you make 2x, 2 times more than the masses. Then maybe you can get to the 5x person, someone that makes 5 times the average. Maybe it could be the 10x person. And here's the thing. When I take a look at this and I find out, and this is what industry you're looking at, the top 1% to become millionaires, they use some basic principles. That's it. It's some basic principles. It's not complicated. I've talked about it for a long time. The blueprint to becoming a millionaire is not complicated. It's work, but it's not complicated. So we're going to touch a lot on that on this call. I find that a lot of people in our industry, they treat the business like a gambling thing. Well, just kind of get in and see what happens. It's like roulette, red or black, right? Or I'll just make the call and see what happens. Or I'll do the presentation and see what happens. I'll bring him in and see what happens. I'll invest and see what happens. It's not gambling, right? It is a business, right? So the pros don't act that way. The pros have a completely different mindset. Again, the pros have 2 legs, 2 arms, and a head, just like an amateur. It's the same anatomy, right? Difference is information. Of course, with the information, it becomes execution. So in chapter 4, I talk a lot about mindset of a pro. How you go transition from amateur to a pro. And you know what? It's going to sound redundant a little bit, but you got to try to capture this, right? So obviously, in this 1 hour, we can't talk, but we're going to cover some of it because I want you to stop gambling, get away from the gambling mindset, and start growing. I want to teach you to break all the bad habits, control your emotions, acquire the profitable business traits that you need. The mindset that you need is a business builder's mindset. So whether you're beginner, you're just kind of getting involved in the business, or maybe you've been here a long time and you're kind of stuck, you just don't know how to get to that next level, this chapter is what takes you to that next level. Now, if you're a beginner, you may find the information a little bit heavy. Just capture. By the way, the stuff I'm talking about, if you are forensic, it wasn't designed, Forensic Networker, my book, wasn't designed for people who just want to make a few $1,000s. You can do that with this business, with our products, without any of this, right? But if you want to go ahead and be like some of our people who've made lifelong residual income for the past 20 years, then you need this stuff. And level of income determines on how much of this stuff that you actually take in. So my job is not there to choose for you. It's not there to decide for you. It's for you to decide. I'll throw this stuff at you and try to capture as much of it as possible, put some of it to use. I know it'll be beneficial to you no matter what. And we go from there. So I want to take you from a gambler's mindset into a professional mindset. Because you know what happens, right? In everything, who gets paid? Pros or amateurs? Of course, it's the pros that get paid. Does a pro has 3 legs and 3 heads? No. It's the same as the amateur. It just has some skills and executes. Not lazy, execute those skills. So hopefully the call will help you think like a professional and grow your business and steady and long term. So what we talk a lot about is key differences between gambling mindsets, amateurs, and builders mindset, the pros. Why most people in the sales industry, including ours, networking industry, why most lose money, right? And again, you got doesn't matter if you're real estate or whatever, most don't make a lot of money, right? Because I know Forex, because I'm in trading right now, 97% lose money. But you know what? There are people who make tens of millions of dollars. And I look at that and I say, you know what? The person that makes millions of dollars, he doesn't have 3 legs. He's just like me. So I just have to learn what he knows, and the information is out there. And during this year, we're going to give you all the information that you need for you to be part of the top, maybe 20%, not the 80%, maybe the 5% and not the 95%. If you're really good, the top 1%, right? Live the big life, the opposite life that we showed you on the weekend. The biggest thing about difference between pro and amateur is that amateurs are very emotional, right? And it's the emotional side of things that keeps them behind, holds them back from taking the next step. See, pros don't think that way, right? They don't think that way. They're just got a framework. They just kind of follow the framework, like Nike. Just do it, do it, do it. They don't get emotionally involved with the thing, right? You're doing the thing, right? In this case, Opulence, right? Emotions doesn't play any part in that. It's like, for example, if you like cooking, right? You don't get emotional while you cook. You just cook, right? Even if you work at a restaurant, you cook all day, you're tired of it, but you don't get emotional about it. You just cook. You got to get into this habit in our industry, in our business, that you don't get emotional about talking to people, doing the call, doing that presentation. Remove the emotion from doing what you do. Just do what you do. So that's the difference between the pros and the amateurs. But the amateurs, it's like, Okay, I'll do the presentation, I'll talk to them, and make the phone call. So much emotion involved. You know what pro does? Next number. Da, 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 da. Next number. Da, 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 da. That's what you want to be. And I'm going to give you a lot of tools to help you do that. Because if you can do that, then you can stick to your what we call DMO. If you can do that, you become what we call a mental warrior, where it doesn't matter what happens during the week or the call, whether it doesn't matter. You are just doing the thing, which is smile and dial, smile and dial. Of course, when you do that, the nature takes over. It's called the law of averages. And some of those become hits, customers, distributors. You keep doing it, and doing it. Next thing you know, you got volume coming out on your cycling, and next thing you know, you get in car club. Next thing you know, you qualify for a cruise. Next thing you know, that's it. Just doing the thing without, what holds you back is the emotions. Or what if they say, no, I don't like what you heard last time? So we're going to get rid of that. Okay, so when you take a look at the effectiveness of the amateurs in any industry, including ours, the stats are brutal. The stats are brutal, right? So we don't want to be part of the 95%. I didn't want to be part of the 95%. Look, if you're going to be in the business, be part of 5%, right? Why part of the 95%? Somebody says, well, I like the social aspect of the business. Great, fine. Be part of 95%. Some said, well, I just want to make a few $1,000, so fine. Be part of 95%. But if you're looking for lifelong residual income, right? If you're looking for the better things in life, no, I think that 5% is better. Now you're gonna have to evolve, pick up some skills, execute, change some stuff. Nothing hard. It's just habits, like going to the gym, change your habits, get some discipline in. And we give you. You know what the thing is? It's worth it. The little adjustments that you have to do on a daily basis, it's worth it, because what's the 5% shooting for? It's not the few $1,000s a month. The 5% shooting for to be the millionaire, 10,000 a month, 20,000 a month, become presidential, become royal, get the car club. That's what the 5% are looking for. And within the 5%, we still got even different. It's all comes down to how motivated you are. For me, I wanted the best. Because here's the thing. I look at the people who had the best, and they didn't look much different than me. I was 20 years old. I look at somebody who's 50 who had the cars I wanted, who had the home I wanted. I'm 20. I didn't see my athletic background. I didn't see somebody that would look different than me. What I was thinking, I wasn't intimidated by them. What I was thinking about was, okay, what does he know that I need to know? In this industry, in our business, you don't even have to do that, because we give you all the information. You just have to be all ears, take good notes, make small steps on a daily basis. Within 28 days, you become a different person. That's all it takes. And you start to see different results. All right? So, because here's the thing. If you don't be a pro, right? Most people, not all, most people you bring in will quit within 90 days. That's just standard stuff, right? Now, in our business, people, they love the products, they kind of stick around, because we got people for 20 years, don't do the business. They love the products, they love the culture, that's fine, fantastic. We have a great community. But people who come in, I think most people look at our industry because they want to make money. Like, if we don't get them the right tools to make some quick cash in the pocket, they probably will quit in the first 90 days. So the quitters, the amateurs, really, they're not really building a business, right? So when they come in, this is like when they launch them, this is their next opportunity. They try 10 other things, right? They come here, they think maybe, oh, wait, the story's new, so it's fresh, it's exciting. They don't change, they don't evolve. Same person comes in, new vehicle, Opulence, and they think somehow the vehicle will drive itself. At the end of the day, the vehicle needs a driver, right? You're the driver. Of course, it's nice to be in a nicer car. Of course, it's nice have leather seats and a Rolls Royce and a badge and of course, we still need a driver, right? So that's what amateurs do. They're always chasing that next opportunity. How many times do you see people keep changing companies, They think maybe the next company somehow drives itself, right? See, pros don't work that way. The pros understand to be it's up to me, right? They know they have to get better. To be it's up to they have to get better. They find a good vehicle, that's okay. I'm ready. So they're amateurs because of they don't want to pick up any skills. That lacks confidence. When you lack confidence, then you're emotional because you're kind of scared, right? There's some fear there. So pros, they know exactly what they want to do. They have a framework. By the way, the difference in pro and amateur, you can become a pro in Opulence. People ask me, how long does it take to be a pro in Opulence? About 100 hours. Not a lot. About 100 hours. It's not a lot to be a pro. How about the industry? About 1,000 hours. It's not a lot. You do 40 hours a week for 40 years in a job that ends you up broke. And that's 88,000 hours. 88,000 hours. So 1,000 hours to be a millionaire is not a lot. By the way, that's just you. In these days, one income families don't do it, so we need two. So now we got 160,000 hours. There's something here can do 1,000 hours, can achieve something in 160,000 hours, and the job cannot. So the emotions, you got to get it off the system, because whether it's good emotions or bad emotions, even good emotions, right? It dissipates after a while. And so then you get, when the emotions go away, logic sets in, and then you become kind of discouraged. Next thing you know, motivated to work, and some quit. See, pros don't work that way. Nike, just do it. So amateurs fall because of the mindset, and it's not because of strategy. See, the strategy is the same. Whether you are an LD4 or an LD1, everyone's got the same strategy, same product, same comp plan. So where you fail is not the strategy. Where you fail is your mindset. Are you working the thing? Are you learning the thing? Are you executing the thing? The pro would come in the same opportunity and they flourish with it. So it's not the strategy, it's the mindset. And so we're gonna work on your mindset from wherever you are to bring the next stage, and next stage, and next stage. And at the end of it, when you get there, you realize you're a completely different person. Not because you learned this spectacular nuclear science stuff, is because the things that held you back is no longer there. The fog is missing. Clarity is what we work for. When you have clarity, you got confidence. You got confidence, you execute. When you don't have clarity, you don't have confidence. So I wrote in my book, when confusion sets in, inactivity starts. When confusion sets in, inactivity starts. You can't be confused. By the way, if you're confused, your team is confused. It's that simple. So clarity is key. So we take a look at the amateurs, right? The gamblers, I call them the gamblers. The amateurs, right? They join on hope. They join on hype, right? They're always in a war with their own emotions, with their own psyche. They're either excited or they're discouraged, right? They get into the hype because of the energy, not because of logic, not because of strategy, not because of, substance. Because they're emotional about it. So pros don't work that way, right? Pros work strictly on strategy, on substance. By the way, the framework is very simple, very simple. It's everything we talk about is about mental. It's about removing emotions and become logical about things. Learn your comp plan. Learn your qualification. Somebody says, I'm excited. Great. And you'll sell some products. You'll make some money. But you know what? You're going to leave some money on the table, because instead of your 250 to get your commission boost, you're at 150 and you just lost $500 because that extra $100 that you're missing from your PV. Here's a rule in Opulence. Whatever you're using at home, if it's not, and you're buying it outside in the local mall, not your own Opulence mall, if we have it, here's a simple rule. If it's not PV, if it doesn't get your PV, don't buy it outside, right? When you go to a grocery store, drugstore, I don't know, whatever store, boutique, anything you want to buy outside your Opulence mall, that's inside your Opulence mall, or you could work it, ask yourself a question when you're buying outside. If I'm buying this from the store, is it PV? Because if it's not PV, don't buy it. Because it's costing you a fortune. Because everything in our business surrounds around PV. So if you can buy the gift from your Opulence mall through shopping credits, but you go outside buy a gift, you lost the PV. You gave away the PV, and the PV here could have been commission boost. PV here could have been variance bonus. PV here could have been the next level cycle. PV here could have been car club. PV here could have been the cruise. What? So you giving away all of that because you want to save some money on a cheaper shampoo. And you do that over and over and over and over again. What type of toothpaste are you using? So we got like 30 plus use cases, right? And that means 30 plus items should come off your shopping list. You see, you don't have to tell this stuff to pros. The pro looks at this, the comp plan, and says, PV is the heart and soul of everything. I'm in. I want PV. Looks at the shopping list. Nope. I can do this here. I can do this in Opulence. Oh, I don't have clothing. Okay. I buy it. Too bad. No PV on clothing. We don't have. Okay. But anything you can do that's can get that we have in Opulence, it's PV. If you buy the same thing outside, you've given that up. It doesn't make sense, folks. So professionals, again, they understand the comp plan very quickly. That's okay. I got to get PV because PV leads to CV, right? CV, everybody gets paid. It's commissionable volume. Simple stuff. Professionals follow the process. You don't have to tell them twice. They're always very neutral emotionally, right? They just gotta do things. What's the comp plan again? Blah, blah, blah. Okay. If I do this, I get this. They're very, right? I'm not saying not to get excited. That's fine. But you can get excited, controlled. Because at every peak, there is a valley. Emotional roller coaster. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. It's kind of hard when you go in the valley and try to come up. What the pros do, they follow a process. They don't get emotional. They're not focused on the result. Here's a key thing. They focus on the process. See, amateurs always, I haven't sponsored anybody yet. And then now they're discouraged. They take all the energy out of themselves. Oh, my customer didn't buy, my presentation didn't go, they didn't say yes. The emotions drains them. Now they don't do anything for 3 weeks. See, that's amateur work. The pros don't focus on the result. The pros focus on the process. The pros know the result happens after the process is done. Tours of the product, tours of the opportunity, tours of the product, tours of the opportunity, tours of the product. Because when you do a tour, a presentation, one of three things would happen. They buy the product, they become a distributor, they're not interested. All three are positive. All three are positive. The difference is when you do the process, you do the tour, you got the victory. You're done. You did your job. You're feeling great. But if you go in looking for a result right away, and even if you do the good job and they're even interested, they just didn't think about it or whatever, you come out, you're drained a little bit, right? Your motivation is lower. Focus on the process. Take off it. And here's the thing, process is not emotional. Result is. We will keep on doing the process. Keep doing the thing. Keep doing the thing. Results will automatically come out. One of three things happens, right? Amateurs always think a little short term. They just want to go and right away get that wholesale profit right away. Recruit somebody, right? Pros think long term. It's always about next 3 to 5 years. They know exactly what they, because here's the thing, the pro wants to maximize the comp plan. He's not there to make a quick buck. The pro wants to touch the comp plan. The pro in our business wants to get paid 9 times a month. They're thinking long term. They're learning and executing, learning, getting information and executing. They're thinking long term. Amateurs thinking for the next hits. We want everyone to shift. As a pro, of course you're getting hits, but that's not your focus. You're not emotional about it because you got a long-term plan. Amateurs always looking for that big hit. Oh, I got this leader. I got this one guy. Pros looks for small victories. Everybody's a small victory. Now, some of these small ones become big. And by the way, that one big hit that you thought, 99% of the time, they won't pan out. Whether they don't get in or they're not who you thought they were. So the amateurs, oh, if I just got one guy, one person, right? That's what they're thinking. Pros, they're looking around. Every prospect is a victory. Every prospect is. We just don't know who's going to do the thing. Amateurs react to everything, right? Pros plan. I mean, at the end of the month, because so many people are like, oh, well, I got to qualify for this, qualify. They're kind of a bit of panicking, right? Pros plan everything. Amateurs react, okay, they're not doing well financially. Well, I need to do something and make money. They're reacting to things all the time. They're always behind the scene, behind the ball. The pros are always thinking the next qualification, the next rank, the next financial status I want to be. Giving a difference between the amateur mindset and the pros mindset. Amateurs think that they know the business. Like they don't need any training. They don't need any training. They know the business. Like that's why, they come, they buy the package, and they barely show up to any trainings, any calls. Look how many people are going on this call. Why don't you have every single person in your team on this call right now? You know why? Because they're amateurs. You should ask yourself a question. Why aren't my people who invested money into why aren't on this call? They're amateurs. The pros, they know that they'll always have to learn and evolve, always. And it's not even just learning and evolving because you need that, but also we all need a weekly dosage of reminder, motivation, inspiration. Plus, you're always going to hear something. The thing what this call is, two different people can do the same chapter. You could listen to it and you learn a lot on both because people say different things, they say their own way. So pros know that. They're always evolving, they're always learning. They know they cannot be as good as yesterday because how they were yesterday wasn't good enough. They want to evolve, they want to get better. So they have to evolve and get better. So today we have to be better than yesterday. So the amateurs, the psychology is broken because they constantly battle in their own head. Everything is emotional. Everything is emotional. Pros don't do that. The pros don't get involved with any of that silliness. Completely remove emotions from everything. They follow the same framework over and over and over again. With amateurs saying, oh, nobody I know is interested. They don't even have a system, by the way. They're not following the tools. They're not using the tools. They have not been trained. They don't know. They're not, but they're just kind of emotional about everything, right? Look, if you were doing something as simple as, no, I'm not saying cooking is simple. If you cook like me, it's simple because I don't cook, right? But if you're doing something as simple, for some of you guys, cooking is simple because you're very good at it. Can you imagine? So are you going to be successful cooking if you just follow the same process over and over again, right? You get the same type of results, same rice, same chicken, right? You're not emotional about it. You can't, you just kind it tastes amazing every time, right? And somebody who doesn't know your process, they come in with emotions, whether it's excited or they're angry, the emotions, and they put all the wrong things in it, and it's, my rice didn't come out again. Well, that's what people do with this business. They come in, they don't know anything, they don't use the tools, they only come with emotions. Basic stuff, guys. Never miss a training. Never miss an opportunity to talk to the top people in this company, to learn from them. Never. Keep evolving. How you are brought you to where you are. Forensic networker. How you are brought you to where you are. Obviously, you want to evolve, get better. Then you got to keep learning, keep evolving. You want to have a broken psychology where you're always frustrated. You always, nothing I didn't do is work, or my people are not interested, my culture is different, my people are different, all this stuff. All emotions. There is no substance, there is no framework, there is no flow. It's all emotions. See, pros don't get involved in any of that. They follow a framework. In this company, we call it DMO. Daily Method of Operations, a forensic networker. We have a training system called the Next 30 Days. We have a full university called QT program, Qualified Trainer program. It's all there for you. It's all there. Every single one of you can be a pro next 1 to 2 months in this business, 100 hours. So it takes. If you get yourself in a lineup to be the QT, or you're already ahead of 90% of people in this company. So you got to decide, you're going to be an amateur or you're going to be a pro. Amateurs, because they're emotional, they don't have much skill, they're emotional, they run out of patience, they run out of money, they run out of time, right? Pros, they're set for long haul, they made a decision, they're set for long haul, and they're just kind of doing it. They're just doing the thing. They're just doing the thing. They're pre-planning everything 24 months, 36 months in advance. It's a much easier life, by the way, because when you plan things like 24, 36 months in advance, you're not getting frustrated every 2 weeks because your guests didn't show up, right? You got no matter what. Look, I would say it's a slow start in our industry when you launch. A slow start is when the first 20 people you talk to, nobody gets involved, right? Nobody gets involved. Whether because you don't have the skills yet, the tools, whatever, but that's a slow start. First 20 people we talk to, nobody gets involved. That's a slow start. The fast start is the first 20 people we talk to, 5 get involved, 10 get involved. That's a fast start. See, one is better than the other, but they're both irrelevant. They're both irrelevant. You're not going to get rich, get lifelong residual income on 5 to 10 people. You got to have a 24-month plan, 36-month plan, 5-year plan. How about a 10-year plan? Who doesn't want a 6-figure retirement, right? Long haul. Find a vehicle and start learning it. Start driving it. You're going to be a millionaire. I did this chapter 4 for people who want to make a lot of money. So again, some of the stuff might not apply to you, but it's good to hear anyways. I mean, it's better than watching TV. Like, this stuff is good for you. It affects you all aspects of your life. For me, it's about, if you're going to do something, try to be the best at it. When I want to wrestle, I want to be world champion, right? Day one, from day one, I got beaten up. I got all stuff. But at the end of the day, I won a Canadian and World Junior Championships. Not because I'm just stubborn that way. My son, Cyrus, he wants to be an NBA. He's playing at the highest level right now. He's 6'2". He's 16 years old. We don't know if he's going to make it or not. But you know what? At this age, he's playing at the highest league possible. He's a star. Again, he's not doing 10 different things. I was out with him last night with my suit and vest. I got home. He's on his court at midnight. He's doing things on his own. I went out at midnight. I went out there. I put an hour and a half in my suit, giving him the ball, and he's timing himself. He's got all these programs, and he's getting. I missed it. Like, telling you, he wants to be a pro. And see, for his age group, he's a pro, right? There's a lot of kids that play basketball. They're not out at midnight, taking shots till they get blisters on their hand. I'm telling you, life is also so much more meaningful when you shoot for something, and then you're dead set on it. You got a framework. I'm going to get there. Zig Ziglar talks about, don't be a wandering generality. Be a meaningful specific. Don't be a wandering generality. Be a meaningful specific. So let's transition now. Let's go from amateur to pro. Let's have a millionaire mindset. This training, chapter 4, is all about that. It's for the participants, that's willing to start the transition to go from amateur to pro. By the way, to get to professional mindset, it's not a process. This is an instant decision. It's an instant decision. You don't need to squat to decide. Make a decision. Then get the information and execute the information. You don't need time to decide, do I want to be a professional? Decisions are instant. That takes time to get maybe the skills. But to make that decision, you don't have to be praying about that. You don't need to be sleeping on that. You can make a quick decision. Think like a professional. Even if you're still learning, somebody says, I'm still new, but it doesn't matter. You can make a decision now to be a professional, even if you don't know anything yet. But now you have a target. Because before you decide you're a professional, you know you're an amateur. Maybe you don't even know you're an amateur, but you are an amateur. And we know who gets paid, pros. But the minute you decide to be a professional, it's okay, now I need to learn some stuff. You made a decision. No shortcuts. Amateurs get shortcuts. I got a call coming in. I'm just going to shut it off. One sec, guys.
Thank you, guys. This is important. It's very important call, and we're all enjoying. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome back.
Sorry, guys. People call all the time. Okay. Let's continue with this thing. So again, professional mindset is instant. By the way, once you're even a professional, it's not something that stays there. It requires maintenance, right? When you go to the gym, you're fit. When you become fit, does it require maintenance or it just stays forever? It requires maintenance. If you want to get healthier, does it require maintenance or it's one time and you're there? No, it requires maintenance. Same thing happens being professional. It requires maintenance. That means you listen to the right stuff every day. Like every day I'm listening to stuff when I'm driving. If I wake up in the morning, right awake, the stuff that I know that I'm trying to get better at. And I love it. Absolutely love it because it keeps me at level 10 all the time. I'm not listening to the TV, the news, where I got robbed, whether the traffic. I don't do any of that. I have a playlist of stuff, 1,000 people that I follow that are just different fields. And I just feel like, and of course, YouTube throws all the stuff at you, right? When as soon as you open in the morning, boom, okay, which one? Let's go. That's how I wake up. You have a choice. Do I want to be a pro? Do I want to be an amateur? I know what my decision is. Pros get paid, right? Pros are not emotional. Pros keep life simple and targeted. Pros are not guessing through life. Why should there be another decision? We know where the amateurs go. Those are called the masses. But the pros have the same amount of legs and hands and a head as I do. So why not choose to be a pro? See, if you're a pro, you're done guessing what to do. You know exactly what to do. In this company called DMO, right? We have the trainings. We know exactly what we need to do. When you're pro, you're done hoping. See, amateurs are guessing. Amateurs are hoping. When you're pro, you think differently. You act differently. You work differently. Same two hands. Same one head. You're calm. See, pros are confident, right? They're calm because they know this stuff. They're taking the time to learn, to do the thing, become the pro. They're calm. They're confident. They're resilient. They don't just give up and just when you're emotional, you run into an obstacle, then it affects you. But when you're not emotional, It doesn't affect you. Nobody likes it. I don't like it, but it doesn't affect you. So pros are kind that stick to the plan because they understand to be a pro, you have to have a framework and do it over and over and over again until it becomes boring. And it becomes boring because you know it well. You keep doing it again. You keep doing it and doing it and doing it. The reason why you're afraid or still excited about something is because you haven't done enough of it. If you've done enough of it, that means you're not good at it. And in business world, if you're not good at something, you're an amateur. If you're an amateur, you're not getting paid. The pros, they don't have a good day or bad day. They don't have a good day or bad day. They just show up no matter what. They just show up. We have a DMO box. We work the box every day. Take those sheets, smile dial, follow up dial, numbers come in. That's what we do. The pros just show up to work. Do you think professional athletes gets a choice to show up to practice or not? They show up. Doesn't matter if a good day or bad day, but that's why they get paid $30 million a year. All those principles apply to your Opulence business. You chose to be here tonight. Congratulations. Many of you people that chose not to be here tonight. Who's ahead? So let me expand your horizon a little bit. Choose tonight that you're going to be a pro. It's a choice. And the choices are instant. You don't have to be praying about this. Choose you're going to be a professional. See, the thing about our business is that our type of business, most entries, people that come in, you know, they're gamblers, right? Okay, well, okay, I'll sign up, see what happens. There's a roulette thingy going on here. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think people will join you because you thought, well, I'll see what happens. Hey, you want to join my business? Nobody will join your business, right? Like I said, if you want to go ahead, and I should say nobody, because sometimes people join you because of lack of trust, you know, but again, they're getting in on the same framework as you are because they follow you. We want to make sure that, you know, when you come in and when you're serious, when you talk to people, because you know a lot, because you're a professional, they will say yes to you. We want you to be thinking like a professional. Don't be a gambler. Become a professional. Don't be an amateur. If you don't know everything in your back office, you're an amateur. Go spend a couple hours there. Click on everything. Write questions. Send it to the office. Send me so much. You got so much support here. You know, send you offline. Call for offline. Be the most knowledgeable person in your team. How about that? Go for 9 times a month. If you don't get paid 9 times a month, 4 times on Tuesdays, 4 times on Fridays, and once on the 15th of the month for the MJRS, all those bonuses. If you don't, you left money on the table. Why? Don't be like gamblers. Well, I'll get in and see what happens. Oh, that company looks good. Euphoria. I'll just get in because other people got it. All emotions, all gut feelings, all reactions, no logic. We want to make sure in this company, we believe from all of our heart this is the absolute best opportunity on the planet for the average person. And we have the absolute best training for the average person. We can evolve you from where you are. Become the best version of yourself. Become a pro. Don't act on emotion, act on process. Simple processes that you do all the time, every day. We come to a point that feelings doesn't matter anymore. You're a champ, you're a mental warrior, you're getting things done, and the results are flowing in. You're a pro, you know exactly what your plan is. The launch pad, QT program. It's all there. We're 20 years old. It's all there. There is no guesswork here. You know exactly how much you want to make. You have a plan. You know the comp plan. You know what you're going to hit and when you're going to hit it. You don't hope. You have a strategy. You have a plan. You understand your comp plan. You know the lifestyle that you want, where it hits in the comp plan. In this lifestyle, I get to LD3. This lifestyle, I get to LD4. This lifestyle, I get to presidential. You know the possibilities. You know, when it comes down to our DMO, in this company, we use a forensic networking system. 40 get you one. 40 dialings, dialing 40 people. One become a customer, buying customer, or a distributor for you. 40 gets you one. Now, why 40? Because 75% of these people that you're going to call, they're not even there. They don't answer the phone. From the 10 that are answering the phone, 2 of them are willing to talk to you because the timing is okay, see a presentation, and 1 of them gets in. So 40 gets you one. Oh, by the way, you know then, the first 5 people you don't get a hold of, or maybe 1 of them is not interested, right away, it doesn't matter to you. You know, emotional about it. You know, because you're a pro, you know 40 gets you one. And you do it over again, 40, 40, 40, 40. And here's the thing. It's not like every 40 gets you one. Sometimes 40 gets you 5, and 40 gets you nothing. But you know, on an average, 40 gets you one. Somebody says, yeah, but I don't need 40 because I talked to 10 of my friends and 8 of them bought. Great. Yes, you can sell the products. Yes, you can. I'm not talking about that. Remember, this training is not about people who are selling and want to make a few $1,000. You can do that. This training is about someone who wants to be like Renee Liao, who made over $107,000 in commissions in 30 days, in 1 month. On 6-figure income in 1 month. That's what this training is for. So if it's not for you, hey, have fun with this information. Amateurs stop when they hit an obstacle. They get discouraged because all emotions. Pros get around it. You know how they do that? Next, 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 next. No emotions. Amateurs gain confidence on wallet deposits. How much money did I make? How much money? You check the e-wallet all the time. Those are fun. I like checking. But that's what drives them. Their confidence is on the e-wallet deposits. Pros gain confidence on the number of calls they made that day, that week. How many people they talked to? How many people they presented to? That's what they focus on because they understand calls turns into presentations. Presentations turns into 3 results. They become a customer, distributor, but they're not interested. All 3 are positive. So 1 focuses on the result, e-wallet deposits, and they're discouraged because they checked in command or they're not as much as they thought. 1 doesn't care. They know the e-wallet deposits there already. They're focusing on the day-to-day. All right, so this is just a small part of chapter 4. And I think we're running out of time, 9:55. Anyone wants to share your thoughts? If you enjoyed this, below up the chat group, right? If you enjoyed this, be live. One of the things about this industry is that you gotta place yourself on enthusiasm, on fire with enthusiasm, and people will come for miles to watch you burn. Be excited, be loud, because that's what people gravitate towards, energy. So, who learned something? If you're excited to learn something, share it on the chat, put your hand up, share it with us with voice, give me some energy. And we pass it on to our fearless hostess.
Thank you for your amazing call. I'm learning to your amazing call, and I want to be a bro. And I believe everybody who is here tonight, they all want to be a bro, and we always think like a bro. And I'm so glad, like I'm running each and every day.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, our CEO. What an incredible and powerful, powerful call. I agree 150% in everything what you do because that's how I live my life. And I'm really appreciate and thankful because and what what I've done over the years prepares me for where I am. And that helped me as an athlete. Because I remember when you have to run the marathon and I compete for my country. I knew I had to practice like your son, and I'm so proud of what he's doing basically. I understand the same drill as an athlete when you're doing the masters, when you want to become the best of the best of the best. And I thank my father every day. He said, no matter what you got to do, you got to keep on moving forward. You got to keep on practicing over and over. No complaining, no crying trouble. Just get it done. So I appreciate all what you're sharing. I hope for a lot of people should pick up and really record and listen to that, what you just mentioned. This was a powerful, powerful training. Simple, but profound. You give us all the tools. Everything that we need is just to go all day with I'll say tenacity, resilience, consistent, persistent. Just keep on doing it until we master the skills. Thank you for that valuable information. Not only just for me, I pass it on to my team as well, but that's what keeps me in the game as a professional pro because I stay focused and I keep on evolving. I keep on planting my seed because I know if I plant my seed, I give it the water, I give it all the love and the sunshine it need, certainly I'm going to reap my harvest. So thank you so much for all the valuable information and I keep on continue mastering to be a pro. Thank you, sir, and back to you.
Thank you, Maria. You sound like
Thank
a
you.
champ. You act like a champ. Love it. All right, take us
And
home, young
yes,
lady. Oh,
and
I mean,
yes,
God.
CEO Ramin, good evening, all the way from Toronto, Canada. Wow. Thank you so much. We had an amazing time this morning. Of course, enjoying the sights and sounds and everything that we have here in Canada. I just want to say, with regards to the training that you have done, CEO. Basically, this is what is really something that I have learned from you right from day one is to be on top of everything. When you train us, when you were here, when we opened up the Philippine office, you said to us that we have to unlearn all the things that we have learned in the past because if it doesn't work, then we have to change the way we do things, right? And right from day one, you have given us all the tools that we need, all the training that we need, and from there, when you left, all the tools is already in our hands from the email platform, from the website, from the training materials, from the sales materials, from the brochures, from all of this. And I use this not only for me to grow personally, but as well as because I know I need it in order for me to mobilize our team here. They would need someone who will teach them on how to do it, right? So I love the word that you used before when you were training us. It's about self functionality, being able to do it yourself, being able to handle the things that needs to be done in your business, and you can do this by learning it. I love the way you said it today. With regards to your website, just click it, learn from it, each and every aspect of your business. These are the tools that are available for you. These are the tools that you can use in order to advance, in order to progress your business. Then the question is, why are we not using it, right? So that's the thing that that's stuck into my mind, and that's the reason why each and every call, each and every training, I show up because I am willing to learn. I am willing to be trained. I am willing to grow personally, right? And this is what we really need today. Especially with all of the things that happened over the weekend, as I have said, in our super yacht, and it has just renewed my commitment. I am committed, but right now I have renewed once again my commitment in, of course, achieving the goals that we have and of course having this new beginning with all of the infrastructure that is with us. The office opening, I love how our office is set up right now, and it just shows us a strong statement of what's ahead of us, the future that awaits us. Being a strong company and a bigger, better office is our first step there. And of course, I'm very much excited to get back to the Philippines, CEO Ramin. And I just want to thank you for the opportunity that you have given us to experience and feel firsthand, personally, how you work, and how we have seen, the past, since Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we have been doing a lot of work. And this just shows how committed we are in providing to all of our partners what they need to eventually succeed in this business. And yeah, so I just want to thank you, CEO Ramin, for the opportunity that you have given us.
It's good to have you and the management team from Thailand here. It was a fantastic week. I'm sure you go back a different person. You see
Yes.
something much bigger, and that's what I mean. When you're around, you close to the subject, then you evolve. So you're either evolving towards the better or evolving towards something worse, right? There's always momentum, and being around us, these calls, at the tours, office, you are evolving towards the better.
Yes. Thank you so much, CEO Ramin.
All right, so our hostess, take us home.
Thank you so much for your amazing attendance, and I'm so glad to be your host tonight. And I would like to end this Zoom, and thank you everyone. Good night, good evening, and good afternoon wherever you are around the world. One team, one
One
dream,
dream,
one
one
system
system to the
to the
billion.
billion.
Wow. Thank you
Bye
so much,
guys,
Paduma.
everyone.
Congratulations for doing
Thank
an
you
amazing
so much.
job. Congratulations. Thank you so much, Paduma.
Thank you everyone. Thank
Bye,
you. Have a
everyone.
nice good night, good afternoon, good evening.